Husband locked away for trying so hard. Brenda's heart took blow after blow. 15 years gone, but hope's a bright star. She showed the world what they didn't know. She's bringing it back, Brenda's new dawn. Living her life, singing her song. Starting over, no chains to bind. Loving it all, pure peace of mind. Now she's helping others rise and shine, teaching joy from a heart so kind. No looking back, just moving ahead. In her story, no tears.
Hey, I don't see it anywhere on YouTube. That's why I was saying. Is anybody there? I can't share it to anybody, Darren, and I didn't see it on up in YouTube. Anybody in the back room? I think something's wrong because look at, I'm checking up on YouTube. I don't see you.
You're there.
Okay, here it is. I see it now. All right. Sorry. Sorry, because I like to share it out. Okay, so I'm going to share it because ain't nobody going to know. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so Kimberly, let me see, stay calm. Herb, I have nothing against her, Patty. Now, Vicky, that's my sister. Lewis, Christopher Naylor, what about him? Pam, she never joins us. What is that one lady's name? Jennifer? Jen, Rovi. I got a lot of Jennifers over here.
Hey, you're live too. Don't forget.
Okay, yeah, sorry guys.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, there's Dr. And that's what I was going to say, Dr. Death. I don't have, because I would send you the link when it starts, but I do not have yours. So that's why I didn't do that. So how's it going? I can tell you, I just I got two exciting call today. This lady out in Florida, okay, we've been talking back and forth for a while, because it's not too far where I used to live in Florida. In any case, she's a Florida mom. Oh, that's right. I said I was going to call up this other one, but I might have a calling guest as well. As I wanted to tell you, Florida mom comes on the chat sometimes, and apparently, all her 5 children are gone, and she lives in Jupiter, Florida. And I can tell you, the cops and the CPS are still giving her a hard time because now apparently they're trying to take her mother, that's blind, and in fact, she herself was a victim of foster placement and Epstein. I mean, she has some story, I can tell you. And and I can tell you too that she's also related. She's like a great uncle to Robert Kennedy Jr. there. So she's got some story, I can tell you. But yeah, she's they were trying to turn it around. Even though she went and put reports down, there's an uncle, which would be her mom's sister, pretty much moves into her mom's house and starts causing all this chaos, and then trying to turn around and say that she was abusing elderly abuse for both the uncle. Oh, see there. And I knew it was going to be Chris. I told him if he calls now, he's going to be live. So there's another call-in guest I didn't expect, guys. Okay, if nobody knows Chris's story, same judge that was originally responsible for taking my children in Dixie County, Florida. Well, it's the same judge that feels a victim to a cartoon and set my husband up back in 2016 as he was running for sheriff against Dewey Hatcher. All right, so I'm going to tell you, we got a live guest here.
A detainee from the Bay Correctional Facility. To To accept this call,
well, I already accepted it. See,
to
sometimes it does
refuse this
that.
call, your current
And
balance is
so what it is, it's
$5.80.
a violation of freedoms of speech, your
This
First
call is
Amendment
from a
right
corrections
to be
facility
able
and is
to
subject to monitoring
create
and recording.
entertainment
Thank you for
without.
using GTL.
Okay, I told you if you called about this time, you'd be live. So I just wanted to say, okay, so we got Dr. Death in the room there, and Tyler in the chat. Anything you want to say about your freedoms being crushed and or anything? You have anything to say?
I do believe that this is the second revolution has already started. There's a civil war has already been going on. Some people, it's been a few years, some people 10 years like me, but everybody has their own war, their own reasons. And I'm glad to see a lot of people getting out there and getting into mixing it up. I mean, the more people we get out there, the more this thing's going to go run smoothly.
Okay.
I appreciate what you're doing, Brenda. Thank you. Getting the word out is really good. Thank you. I love you very much.
Debbie Anderson's here. She says, "Hey, Chris." All right. Well, I'm so glad that you can put some sense in, because I was looking at one of my old books and noticed that you did in front of a panel of judges or whatever have say that there would be a second revolution, and you would lead the second revolution in against the tyrants. So I just found that today, so I thought it was interesting. I've been finding some things, guys. I've been doing some digging, and that's why you have to look into your cases. As matter as fact, I do it all the time. Chris is like, Brenda, you got to get out of there and quit getting into the case, right? All right. Well, what else is going on there? Oh, you want to talk about the inhumane conditions going on in this where he's at over there in Florida? Yeah, just inhumane. I was telling somebody the other day how people are pissing all over your mattress and all over your bedding, and then you're left with nothing. I said that's months ago. We finally got a pillow. What was that, last night? You had the first night with a pillow? Is that what happened? Oh, sorry, I didn't know.
You're doing a great job. I love you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right. Talk to you later. All right. Thanks for calling.
Thank you for using GTL.
Okay. So now that we have that call taken care of, let's call a friend out in Georgia. Okay. Let me give her a heads up that we're going to go live with her. Okay. Calling for live now. So what's going on with anybody? Chris Brayton. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by. And this is a new name to me, Tyler. Hey, don't mind if you give me a shout out and tell me where you're calling from or where you're at. I mean, what state. I can tell you that I'm in Louisiana, and my case where what destroyed my family, even though it started in the state of Maine, it ended in the state of Florida, all because my husband wanted to run for sheriff. And hey, y'all, anybody that thinks they're probably targeted or they have a threat tag on you, you most likely, you're right. Okay, because I have 2 copies of mine. Yes, for real. It's called a Fusion Exchange Bulletin, and it's something that is so real that I did everything that I could to see if I can be removed. But come to find out, it came from, if anybody remember, during Obama's administration, Eric Holder was the Attorney General then. Yeah, a real piece of crap. I guess some people don't like to be called, had name calls and something else like that. They don't like the name calling. But let's see. This is a mom out from Georgia, another victim of this hack attack. I like that picture. Whatever happened to my friend Amy White? I haven't seen her for a while. I wonder if I said, hey, are you picking up? Can I hear you? Do you want to go live? Georgia mom, do you want to go live? Maybe not. Okay, that didn't work out so well. Hey, Wet Plants, do you want to go live? Do you want to come in the thing? I could send you the link to the show. Do you want to come in my show? Anybody wants to come in my show, man? We're ready to throw you in there. So whatever you think. We had one calling guest, so I don't know what happened to the other. If you notice, I look over that way. This time I decided I'm going to sit on the couch and move my laptop this way, but I still got the big screen back here. And I hate to look away, but like I say, if I'm not looking up there, that means I'm looking at a dot that's glowing back at me. I do have a little camera I can move around and what? I don't get it. Okay. Oh, okay. So if anybody does want to come in, the host will be right back. And he could bring anybody in that wanted to come in. So let's see, let's keep up with the chats, and hopefully I say hello to Wet Plants, because I really like that hi to Hack Attack, because I love that name. I like when people get inventive with the names. My husband, very funny. It's go on these different live games and stuff like that. PC games and whatnot. We were playing live with other people. You know what his name is? Fudge Knocker. Just trying to be comical, and of course, I still, it makes me laugh. So after we get our affidavits and protections, I can. Let me see. What we were talking about before that? Found my way in. After we got our affidavits and protections, I can do what? You get it notarized? Did you get it notarized? Oh, you will have your protections. And as far as and I can't say it for myself. All I'm saying is that's what Gunner claims, that there will be like a witness protection. I can tell you that I do have mine turned in finally. I think that was just yesterday, where I had it notarized, and I did that. I mean, I wanted to just get it notarized just for my peace of mind. And then I have it right here. And then I put it in a PDF and I mailed it on to that. So in any case, what else we got going on? Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you very much for that. Anybody, you want to, who's going live? What plans? You want to go live with me? Oh, you told your friend about me, Chris. Well, that's nice. Because I'm here, and I just wanted to let y'all know that you have to have some type of breaks sometime in your life. Like, get out there. I don't even care if it's raining. If it's warm, who cares? Go out and have a walk in the rain, or take a sky view. I can tell you, in Louisiana, we have the best sky views with the big clouds and everything. And just take a breather and take some fresh air, because we need you to be strong for this fight, and unfortunately it has become a fight. It's a war. It is a war. And when my husband says it's good that y'all are joining in, because he believes this is the second revolution. We are fighting for our children. And whoever would have thought that the second revolution would be a fight for our children's freedom as well as our own, and in our own country. I mean, I don't know about any of you out there in the audience, but does anybody in the same boat as me, where they're don't have any idea where their kids or young adult children may be? I mean, it's just like a horrible, never-ending hell. It's like you just like think, well, sometimes it's just like, is somebody punking me, because this shit can't be real. It's just a horrible joke, like to scare you to death. But in any case, I always thought it was similar to why do I have this out here in front of me? But why do I have yeah, you guys. I just so much. I know we were trying to get a call with Danielle. I'm just afraid of retaliation because of our case closes in July. Well, oh yeah, you know what? I hope that's working out for you. And I didn't mean, like, I thought we were supposed to have a conversation. I don't think that ever happened. Wet Plants. We sent some pictures back and forth, but I mean, you don't have to put your face on there. Let me I'm gonna send it to you through send you the link actually. I wonder if I can send that to you here. Studio. I know you see. Oh no. Oh no. I messed up, guys. I messed up. Sorry. Oh, sorry about that. I'm. Who is who's back? Okay. Sorry. Sound fuck now. Anybody? Let me see what it's doing. I hear it on my own voice. I'm gonna have to even come back, guys. I gotta. Okay, cancel. Okay, how's that? Is that better, guys? All right. I might have turned down my volume too much now. Let me see if this is working. Anybody, can you hear me? Hmm. Sorry guys. I think I messed it up. Can anybody hear me? You can hear me? Chris, are you saying yes to me? It seems like I'm stopped. Seems like the chat stopped. Somebody here, I can type in my own thing. In fact, I'll go on freaking YouTube and find out for myself if it's going. Okay, there I am. Sorry, guys. I think I messed it up. Can anybody hear me? You can hear me? Okay. Brenda's on the loose. Oh, Lord. Yeah, it was just weird because that threw me off because I think I was doubling it up on myself. But that's what I was thinking. It was like if anybody ever seen the Truman show, it's actually a movie, the Truman movie, where this guy was born into it, played by Jim Carrey, and his whole life was filmed, and they never let him know the whole town was part of this show that he had no idea that aired his life, and there was actually limits to where he could go, and he kept saying, I remember throughout the whole show he's saying he wanted to go to Fiji, and he was really in love with Sylvia. Anybody remember that? I love that movie. But anyways, I think that's what it is though. And sometimes that's why I'm wondering, is that are they filming my life and this is going to be like a movie someday? Because it should be a pretty bizarre one. Right? Am I right, guys? Oh man. But any case, yeah, we're going over a few things, but that was interesting. I seen a little bit of that one guy that the Punisher and Tiff show saying that, oh my gosh, they're talking about just little babies that were born, a little baby that was born last July or something. That's ridiculous. But let me see. Reversal of the order. These are some of my own notes from when I was in Charlotte County. You notice it's on the yellow paper. You can buy pads of paper on commissary. You need a film crew, right? That's exactly. I need hello, I mean, where's yeah, that's what we think. I would think be like breaking news, just like they call this show breaking news, man. This is breaking news. You guys wake the fuck up. I mean, children are being taken and I mean, hello, and disappearing. So these are American children. These are our children. I mean, a lot of us families, your history, you have someone that fought for this country within your blood. And like I say, my husband is one of those people, which makes all our kids sons and daughters of the American Revolution. So how are you going to come into a family that's been together since they were 14 and 15, like me and my husband, and all of a sudden, even though you homeschooled the 3 doctors that graduated top of their class, all of a sudden you're not good enough to raise your children. I mean, that's my fundamental right to be able to raise my children, you know? Yeah, let's read some of this because this one, and then again, my daughter was placed over there in Charlotte County, Florida, in this foster house where this lady fostered another kid and had one of her own kids and an adult son, and they were Haitian. Okay, I know that they were part of the Democratic Party because I looked it up, and not from this country, and confusing my daughter because when I did get a chance to see her, she's like, Mom, you're the only American I know. She says, I can't even understand these people. They couldn't understand her. How are you going to take a delayed child and put them into a situation like that where they're supposed to be getting like a type of nurse's aid type thing going on? Somebody that can help her with her, daily task. Really, and her health needs. And they told me that's what that placement was, but that's not what I found. Because I got the pictures of the deplorable conditions. And so who do you think is responsible for these placements of the children, even though you might think it's your CPS supervisor or what have you, the partnerships for destroying families, or Devereaux, where they really don't have that authority. So I would say that order would have to come from a judge. And if these judges are ordering children into these placements and not checking to see, hello, these people may be drug addicts. They may be, I just heard another story about that earlier. I mean, they're placing these children with drug addicts and everything else, and they've already went through enough trauma. Like they lost their mama or whatever, they pass away, and then where's the child left? I mean, they're supposed to be going to the next of kin. That's not what they did with us. There was nobody that died in my case. But the thing is that there was lots of family available, but they kept looking at these freaking petitions they put in and saying there's no relatives or known friends available. I'm like, well, what the freak? What the fuck? What was that we were giving you all those names? What about all those names we had just given you? Yeah. So, I mean, it's some messed up stuff. If like you say, if someone sees a child being abused or in an abusive placement, it is their duty to remove them from that situation. So whether I was a biological mom or it was the guardian that for some reason they took over parenting my child, which they weren't doing a good job of that, especially when she worked full time, and then that was at nighttime she worked, and then she would sleep all day. So how is that when you have another child that's younger than my daughter was, putting them on the bus and packing their lunches and even making their food when they come home from school? Okay. Yeah. And I can imagine why those dishes were piled up like that. So they're supposed to be checking on these places, guys, and they're not doing that. And if Charlotte County law enforcement wants to not say anything about the deplorable conditions my daughter was in, and then Judge Mason wants to go retire, I mean, that's a whole nother story. This is what I have a bunch of writings on. I have a bunch of writings that I submitted, and I drew copies because all you have there is a pen or a pencil, right? So I'd make my own copy. Like, what does this say? Esther, I thought I went through the timeline. So at 3100, Esther received a call around 2 a.m. Seems strange to the officer. She told the officer if Lance that was her adult son, is not there, she will not go in when work calls. Let me see. Esther told them don't call next. Oh, see, this is just, yeah, I was writing down way too much, I think. But I'm telling you, also, one case was I wrote down, because it did have a good law library when it was in the county still. It's Linmuth versus State, 247 SO, I think that means South, 3rd District, probably, 635, Florida. 2018 section 787.03. Okay, if anybody wanted to look into that, these are what the charges of kidnapping they gave me, even though, when I saw my daughter being abused and my daughter asked me to get her out of there. She wants to go see her brothers and her dad. Why, like, where have you been, Mom? I've had my bag packed, I'm ready to go. And it was so sad because she literally had what her older brother had given her, this backpack that was like, what was that? The latest one. It was, in fact, I have one of them over here. It wasn't R2D2. It was, from the newer movie Star Wars, one of these robots. And but in any case, she had that and kept that on her bed and everything else. And the thing was, is in that closet where my daughter was staying, there was no clothes for my daughter in there at all. And a lot of the things that the kids took with them ended up disappearing. In fact, one day we were going to this partnership to go visit the kids. It's just some little building, and I passed by this one door that was open. It's usually closed all the time, and they had piles and piles of kids' toys in there. Yeah, bikes and everything. And then I asked my daughter what happened to her favorite pillow, because she even had a name for her pillow. It was like this fuzzy pillow, pink pillow. And she's like, she didn't know what happened to it. So that's what one day I was going to show you guys, because her tiger, she got the huge stuffed tiger that I kept because I didn't want to give it to them so it would get lost. And it was I felt bad about it because she can't sleep without her tiger. And I was like, oh my goodness, what do you do? And it's the hardest part of it is that you can't do a damn thing, because they take complete control over your children. It's disgusting. Okay, so should not be this hard to give back the kids to the parents, right? And what's the big secret? That's what I'm wondering. It's like, so you took my kids, and then now I have no idea where they are, and why are you keeping this information away from me? It doesn't make no sense. And then they say, oh, wait till they turn 18, then everything, we can sign up for the reunion registry, which goes through the Department of Children and Families. Well, how is that working out for me? Not too well. Because then my kid would have to know how to get on this themselves, and probably don't know anything about it, especially if they're autistic. They're not going to be able to do that. So, and you have no idea if they might be being drugged up, because my younger son, he doesn't have any delays. But what would be the reason he wouldn't be reaching out to us if he possibly could? And when you hear these horrible stories, like it's just like a horror movie where they're locking these kids, not only foster ones but adopted ones, in cages, in dog kennels and everything else. I mean, I had nightmares about this stuff, man, and it just fucking came true. So they removed your autistic child from ABA therapy. They were in the middle of therapy, but then they take them, and then they're not going to be able to get that therapy anymore. Is that what you mean? White Plants, I got to talk to you about this, because there's a lot of things, guys, that are going on with the families that had children with delays that were taken, okay? Because this is a sick situation. They know that the child is not going to have the ability to reach out to their family. And then apparently somebody was looking it up for me the other day. They're saying that they will continue to get money for this person. Like when your child goes all the way up to age 26, they'll still be able to make money off them if they have autism or whatever, and are getting Social Security. So, I mean, is that why a lot of people can't find their kids until they turn, they're really, already almost in their 30s, but to me, it'd be real easy for my son to type in, his brother's name, which is very, there's not a lot of people with my son's name, and my son still has the same number that I gave to my son Chris. I'm saying, here's your, our numbers, please call, and he never did. Like, and then they adopted my kids out to strangers April 1st of 2020. Like, how Trump was going on about he wouldn't sign this bill or whatever on April 1st because he's superstitious. I could tell you, they arrested us on Good Friday, okay, saying for eavesdropping or something. They also arrested us on election night when we were trying to watch the results to see if my husband run for sheriff and see if Trump won. So we sat in jail for like 3 days, I think it was, not knowing who the freak was president, and back in 2016. And then once we bonded out, we thought we'd be able to get the children back into our care, but it didn't happen. And what I was wondering, if it was over, okay, they're saying it was over 20 grams of weed, right? Which in Florida, that's a felony. Well, how are you going to arrest both me and my husband, especially when my husband wasn't even in the car when the transaction took place? So it would have been arresting one person. But instead, they entrapped my husband, not only that time, but many times to come after this. Is they waited for my husband to get back from the grocery store into the car, and then arrested my husband. Yeah. So, and like I said, it was all over a little bit of weed. And the DA, this Brannon guy, Brennan in Dixie County, Florida, the Third Circuit, Third Judicial Circuit, I think that's what they call it. If you guys could look it up, I'm not lying about this. The state attorney that was there when we this was going on with the kids, when my kids were stole, and the county attorney Mike Osteen, Jeffrey Sigmeister, they were arrested in 2022 for bribery and conspiracy. Are you going to tell me these same motherfuckers are going to get away with destroying my family and taking my vehicle, taking my fucking house, everything, my life? They took it all. They took it all. And so, like you say, the best thing you can do is come back at them with some truths and some facts, and have your stuff in order and say, this is who I am and this is what happened, okay? And I want my kids back, okay? So whoever's going to make that happen, I'm hoping that they have some good U.S. attorneys in the states of where you are, and maybe we can hit them all up with our affidavits or whatever we happen to have, a cover letter, at least say, this is my information. If you need to know more, all I know is for this state we have this many people, for this state we have this many people, because I know there's a lot of people. So don't be shy or nothing about getting the word out. I've been talking to different people every day right here around where I live. And I found this girl named Brandy, and I talked to her about her the other day. I mean, she was ecstatic that I happened to walk that way in front of her house where she was. And they're like, well, how could I said, hello, and how can I make your day better? And they say to me, and I said, I told him who I was and what's going on. And the lady literally, like, she raises her hands up in the air, and she knew that somebody would actually, come and help her with this messed up stuff that just happened to her and her children. I mean, oh yeah, they're throwing her to a nut house and everything, and they tried to. This is the craziest story, guys, but it ends up my son's a doctor too, and my son actually unknowingly, not knowing that I would ever run into these people ever in my life, the teenage son she has that was 17, I didn't meet him or anything like that. I just met her, but she was saying that she didn't want her son going into a mental institution, and then noticing that the doctor just looked at the history that was on paper, and with the history that was on paper, he would have been sent. But since my son took the time to look at this and say, okay, well, he doesn't really need to go into a mental health facility. And so when she figured out, because she's showing me her paperwork, and here I see my son's name on this, I'm like, what the whoa? I mean, what are the chances of that happening? I mean, it's like I'm going for a walk, around the block. I don't know anybody that lives over here. I only lived there like a couple years. But that goes to show you guys, I mean, God is active and is blessing us every step of the way, man, because that's what I say. I'm not following anything but letting God lead the way on this journey. And I always do things legally and lawfully, and I've always did. But then there's certain people that are in these higher up positions that, hey, they're just going to not only ruin your day, they're going to ruin your life. And that's always going to do, might just take a few bad apples and, your life is destroyed. I mean, and then they'll turn around and say, we destroyed their life. This is what this judge was saying. Anybody interested in this, I will send you the sentencing for my husband. It would just blow your mind. In fact, I was going to make some little clips of this lady and how she feels that even though she completely destroyed her life, that somehow my husband's cartoon has destroyed her life, and the only way she would be safe is if my husband was locked away for 15 years. And why is she showing her teenage kids my husband's entertainment when it's clearly marked not for kids? Okay, but she's showing them that, and how is she even going to find it unless she typed in Christopher Cambron? But she's saying her kids are scrolling through that. No, it's not gonna. He's not gonna be scrolling through that unless they have typed in their damn phones a Christopher Cambron or whatever. He ain't gonna. It's just unbelievable how they can invade your life by they have the ability to take down your TikToks. I mean, what the Gunner saying, he doesn't have access to it anymore. I've had my certain ways of, I keep coming back on because they just don't violate a post or anything like that, and I don't go live on it. They just completely take down my channel, bing bang boom, and then you see the little Jason Katz looking at my profile view, and he says he was a supervisor for the caseworker and the case plan. He was a supervisor, and he's the same one that my kids were taken, my rights were terminated in 2018, right? January 2018. Hey Tammy, how's it going? And Chris has been hanging in there with listening to me go on and on. Anybody else got any stories today? Brights? Well, that's nice of you. Yeah, and that's what you got to do. And I felt so sorry for that girl. And then that was, not that far down the road, I had some extra food and stuff somebody had given to me, and it was more than I can have, and I'm just like, I'm going to just leave this box at her door, and I'm sure she's going to appreciate it. And then my son says again, he says, oh my God, he did his rounds at the hospital. This poor man. And he said, "Oh my gosh, I seen that lady up there again." But oh, I didn't tell that part where, okay, so the other day after I met her, then I didn't know my son happened to be doing rounds at the hospital, and all of a sudden we were under this carport. If you've ever seen that video I did on TikTok, it's pouring rain, and so it's pouring rain, and my husband or my son just happens to call me, and I said, "Dude, can you come pick me up because it's pouring rain and I'm like stuck over here with this lady under a carport," and then he comes, pulls up, and she is just freaking out because she realizes that the same doctor that had helped her and her son happens to be, helping to be my son. So now my son comes back for lunch today, and he's like, "Mom, I see that lady again." And she said, she's actually taking my advice. I said, "Girl, go get your records from the hospital." And that's just what she was up there doing. I was like, what? That is crazy. It's craziest story that happened, because that's what I think the Lord led me into that direction. Because a lot of times I go walking, I don't go that way because unless I want to walk to that store, but I just happen to go walk that way because there's a really nice place to walk. 2 churches I can walk around, and then the college is right over there, and that's a huge place to walk around. And even if it's sunny, it's got a lot of shade and stuff like that. And at Wet Plants, I did want to tell you as well. They've got a greenhouse behind that college there. Not very big. It doesn't seem like they're really growing that much in there. I wish I could ever see somebody inside it, but every time I walk over there, it has a lock on it. Okay, so Debbie, Tabby. Okay, Wet Plants is in Utah. And Classic Mommy, anytime, just like text me and say, "Hey, Brenda, can you talk?" And I'm like, I'll be probably, "Yeah, I can talk." So you guys got my number, so don't be shy. The only thing that really interrupts me is if Chris calls and seeing it in his situation, I do take his call no matter who I'm on the phone with. So unless I'm like at work. Now, this Friday, y'all, I will be at work for about 6 hours. God forbid I haven't been able to get any freaking hours for 2 weeks. I need to make some money, y'all. I need to send you pictures of my grow tent. No way. You're really outdoing me. That is for damn sure. Now I'm growing sage. I'm growing I've got the winter lavender. I got a bunch of bee balm. I got some strawberry plants growing up back. They're not really doing very good. The strawberries were really small. I got a bunch of red onions going. I got a 1 corn stalk growing. And like I say, mostly herbs. I got some mint that keeps coming back that I planted about a year ago. And then I got a grapevine. That's my husband's grapevine. He's the one that did that, but I did put the extra wires up. We got 3 wires going across. That thing is getting huge. No grapes on it yet. But I promised my husband, I said, when that thing gets grapes on it, you're going to be back home, and we're going to will it to happen, because that man has been bamboozled, railroaded. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's like something's got to give on this man's case. My oldest son is an attorney in Utah. It's beautiful here. I've never been to Utah. I've moved around quite a bit, and we've traveled quite a bit. I've never been to Utah. It sounds like it's a good place to live. I lived in the mountains of New Hampshire. That was the best place I ever lived, but it got pretty snowy and icy over there, though. I mean, we were living the rough life out there, man. But it's great how that it had access to that fresh spring water. There's a damn another fly in here. I don't know how these guys are getting in here. I think they wait for you to open the door, right? And then they come on in. I think they find for those little gnat bugs, those little freaking even fleas. You get those. I know I bought them off Temu, but I think you can order them on Walmart online as well. But they're these sticky balls. I swear to God. The funny as it is, they're like yellow. I think sometimes they're green, but I mean, you put those up like on your back patio, they will be covered with those little damn bugs. And they do best outside, but sometimes I like to put them in the house, like around the kitchen, and they will catch those damn bugs. It's kind of like the same avenue as the sticky tape. But I find that sticky tape to be a goddamn mess. And if you do hang them in the house, how many times did anybody do these sticky fly tapes and get that sticky stuff all over them? I don't like them. I'd rather do and deal with the sticky balls. That's right, Punisher. Come on. It's true. I mean, look it up at Team now and then laugh at that. Because I'm telling you, if I can, and I will do that. I will recommend certain movies and certain good ways. And in fact, that bee balm I was telling you guys about, that's good for your tea. And I think it helps with the antibodies or whatever. Helps clean out your system. And somebody was telling me all about these dandelions that you can, that's very healing. But I told her, I said, you know what about the dandelions and dandelion leaves? All I remember is I was sitting on the toilet quite a bit after that. I was like, we're not going to have dandelion salad anymore, but I think we ate a little bit too much at once. Probably what happened. Oh man. That's what happened. I can't, if I do want the invite link, I'm not gonna be able to do it there. We figured that out. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. And yes, I talked to a girl named Cecilia, and maybe I should get a hold of her. Now she's in Colorado, and she has a pretty young case, because I think one of the babies is not even one, and then she had like a 2-year-old. So sad. I mean, just really, and she sounded like she was young. And I'm thinking though, like it was good that she was able to find like us. I was like, just like I say, a lot of times God leads your way throughout the day. This morning I woke up and this girl named Jamie, you guys might even know her. She's just trying to find her way through this bullshit like we all are. Hers, it was Jaime, and for some reason I freaking text her, and then she ends up calling me back, and then she tells me about this other girl in Colorado. So yeah, I mean, we're all in this together, guys, and that's why I mean, so many was split up groups. I mean, can't we just all pull it together as one? And like I say, I don't like the drama either, and it shouldn't be about that, because our main focus is the kids, period. And keeping a sound mental health and mind. You just got to, I encourage, putting good things in your body, because you're going to go further in life. And I know a lot of times it's hard with the cigarettes, but I think, I think cigarettes should be illegal, because I mean, if I've met a lot of people that died a slow, horrible death that smoked a lot of tobacco, and it's nothing to mess around with. I mean, but they want instead they're legalize freaking marijuana when it's helping all these patients. It's just like, it really doesn't make sense to have your kids taken away for marijuana. And then you want to put it in a category of drugs. Come on. Nobody believes that. But nobody believes that. And that's the thing, is that that's what the attorneys that we had for the children's case, they would whisper in my ear during court, like, oh, the judge isn't going to buy that. But judge will never believe that, because the DCF attorney is saying a bunch of crap out of her mouth that doesn't even fucking exist. No evidence of whatever she's saying. All she wanted to do is talk about my husband's videos, like taking them out of context. He's reporting on some of this stuff, and he's making films. It's like, hey, Alex Jones made some did some live things, right? Some live things and some stuff on radio. You can't convict somebody on their on-air performance. This is a performance. Oh, it's what Chris was trying to say. It's not freaking real, especially if it's even a freaking cartoon that he might have added his voice to. I mean, are these people nuts out of their mind? I think the real problem is that the reason they're looking over their shoulder is because they took so many damn kids, and we know too much. That's the reality of it, guys. I mean, they want to watch me so bad, I'll freaking tell them how it is. You better get a freaking life if you think God is not gonna freaking you know. It'll be the end of the world is what's going to happen, man. It's like Sodom and Gomorrah just reminds me, you know, the second coming, guys. Jeez, I don't want to get and I'm not religious. I do believe in God, but I believe that in the Old Testament, okay, and I believe that you just got to pray to God that when you do read the Bible, you can understand that. I mean, there's so many fake religions, guys. It's not even funny. But my kids, let me see. My kids at removal were 14, 11, 2, and 3. Oh my goodness. I didn't know you had so many involved. 14. Wow, that just breaks my heart right there. I mean, wow. 2. So you've dealt with like all the age groups, because that's what I was wondering. Like, how would it be for the kids were little? Yeah, that's what I wonder. What plants did they ever make at home? Were they placed together, or were they separated? That's why, because I had 2 and they separated mine 2 for the most part. But Sage was 12 and Chris was 10 at that time. So yeah, 14. That's sad. That lady that I know over here in Louisiana, she's taking care of her 14-year-old niece, and she can't even imagine, like, all her kids are done grown. And now all of a sudden to have this girl that's in her home. But it's so sad that this girl had been in so many different foster placements. She didn't even know like how to pick out clothes for herself or anything like that. Like, yeah, and she's autistic too. It's just so sad. It's so sad. But in any case, oh wait. Oh, you're telling me some of the plants you have. I missed that. I have pothos and carnivores. Oh, nice. Okay. Anthurium, and I can't even say these things. Okay, you got the bananas. I just sold my banana tree. I can't even say any of these names. You know too much about plants. That's why you're wet plants. Because I know, why I don't know those names? It's because a lot of times those are those plants that look nice and they don't grow food. And usually I'm always growing plants that are edible a lot. I do have like this palm tree, but I still have that in the house. It's in this heavy pot and I didn't really feel like moving it, but it seems to be doing really good in front of that window and back. But nobody gets to see it, of course. But I guess I would get a lot bigger if I planted it outside. I'm just afraid because when it freezes like it did this past winter in Louisiana, it was very unusual. We got snow over here in Louisiana, and apparently these guys have never seen snow. You wouldn't believe the way I could see the kids down the street, man. They didn't know what hit them. Unbelievable. And even my husband's girlfriend never seen the freaking snow in Louisiana. And yeah, and she's like in her 30s. So there you go. Oh, man. Yes, yes, they have been home since October. They were gone from June to October. June, July, August, September, October. That's 4 months. Stayed with my mom and dad until my dad died. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. It's very recent. Wow. Oh, yeah. And see, then that's the thing is, talking to Florida mom too, is like, her, stepdad recently passed, and then all this stuff happened. Um, besides already having the kids gone, and her stepdad was trying to help bring awareness to this horrible stuff that's going on with our children being taken. And the people there in Jupiter, Florida, don't want to hear anything about it. They're trying to silence this woman. But so you taking care of kids on your own now, or I mean, she's got a lot of kids there. Wow, you got your hands full. My goodness. Can imagine. Well, because when I had, my kids were so much older. By the time I had my Sage, I mean, well, my older two were already in college. So that's how far apart we had our kids. And, all with Chris. Me and Chris have been together. Like they say, we've been in it for a minute. Monsters did. Edible fruit eventually. Oh, they do. Nice. Oh, wow. My son's fiance, she really likes to grow stuff like that. And she's really good at it too. Oh, Tammy, you haven't even said much. You have to go? Oh, thanks, Tammy. Tammy's getting bored. I'm probably putting Tammy to sleep. Come on, Tammy, tell me the truth. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Brenda's going on and on. So, hopefully, I mean, I'm glad that you got your kids back with you. I mean, again, the more success stories I hear in a day after hearing, some horrible stories, it's really nice to have some good stories in there. But I mean, maybe you can share your advice to people that haven't had the pleasure of getting their kids back yet. Maybe if you got some pointers, let us know. I won't be silenced once protected. So, oh, okay? You have your husband. I know Danielle might have told me who your husband was, but I'm not even sure. My oldest, who was autistic, is amazing with helping the littles. My 12-year-old is also amazing with them. See, and that's what I had. My middle son, who is now 34, he was the one, and he helped raise those kids. That's why. So he was. So let me tell you, my son was born in 91, the one I'm talking about. And so Sage and Chris were born, Sage in 2003 and then Chrissy in 2005. So my son was a very big help with those kids. Like, I mean, and my daughter wasn't an easy one to take care of because she was sick a lot when she was a little baby. And then she would she would almost demand, or if you wanted to just get her to sleep, you would take those strollers, even though it's an umbrella stroller or whatever stroller, because we wanted to use the little one in the house because you'd have to rock her back and forth in this, and nothing else worked. I mean, we had every other imagination you can imagine for rocking this girl. She wanted to be in that stroller, and then as soon as you tried to get her out because you think, oh man, she's going to be all squished up in there, she would wake up. Or she wanted to be nursed all night long. So yeah, and that's how I finally get to sleep, is just go to sleep with her. She was a real mama's girl for sure. And then by the time when Chris, came along, and then like I say, she's 2 years older than Chris. Like she was still his baby bottles, and you find her like sitting in the corner, stealing Chrissy's baby bottles, because Chrissy ate a lot. Not only did I nurse him, but he had to have bottles as well. I mean, this boy ate. Couldn't get enough. I think he was my biggest son too. I tell you, by the time you have 5 kids, wow, you better get the the oven mitts out or whatever, because that thing is flying out of there. I mean, I was barely made it to the hospital in time with those last 2. 7-cylinder. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know. God knows if I'll remember. I usually, like I'd say, and I've been talking to one of my friends as well, that it's always good for me to write it down on paper so it sinks in a little bit more. Like I'll have certain books that I like write down everybody's name, and just in case something happens with the phone where you'll still have the information available. I try to do that. It's been hard to keep up since I'm getting old. I'm going to be the big 6-0 in July, people. And I know there's a lot of birthdays in July. I think Danielle says hers is in towards the middle of July. Her son or daughter's birthday in July. I think it was her daughter. So I was born right after. Oh, yeah, that's right. The Punisher is before mine. It will be on July 3rd. So he was born right before July 4th. In fact, Florida Mom has a son that was born on the 4th of July. I was born on the 8th. I know we have. So we got some cancers there for sure. I don't know if you guys ever followed astrology. I didn't. I just look up, I like to look at those things when you go to the Chinese restaurant and it's got the dragon, or whatever your sign is this. I can't even remember what mine is now. I think the snake maybe, who knows. I was the same way as a baby, and I had to be moving then. One only slept for 4 hours and I was up all day. Yeah. Yes. My youngest and my middle son both had the ear infections all the time. So they were the ones that would keep you up all night. Oh boy. Yeah, that was no fun with the ear infections. And I still have trouble with my ears today. I've had like tubes in my ears as an adult, and I'm telling you, it's still messed up. We have January, April, June, September, and August and December. I am Libra, and that's all I know. Okay. Oh, so your other kids in your family and your husband may be. So my sister's June as well. My sister's the first day of summer, which is June 21st. All my husband's has all his family, immediate family, brothers, sisters, whatever, are all birthdays in March. My husband was the only one. He was born May 1st. When I was a kid, I thought it went in order as the months went, because my brother's was the oldest. His birthday was in May. My sister's came in June. She was the second oldest. And I was the baby, and my mom came in July. And I thought everybody was like that when I was a kid. So it's going to be a patriotic July. Hopefully Chris will be back by then, because I'm getting sick of this bullshit. And he is too. So we're going to be getting a response to this brief coming up here and at the beginning of June. So I'm excited about that. Hopefully these appellate judges can see the bullshit that has played out in Chris's case. I mean, there is so many good arguments on this. And I mean, he had his First Amendment right violated, besides the fact there was jurisdictional issues. And they had never had the right to take him out of Louisiana in the first place. And they said he fled. He fled Florida. And they sent that information to both of the governors of the states that he fled Florida. No, he didn't. Because they put his address as 1415 Northeast 364th Avenue in Old Town, Florida. And he hasn't been there since we sold that house in 2018. So you tell me who's fleeing where. They just can't get enough of us. They want us to. I had to do my probation for Louisiana over here. Well, I wanted to in Louisiana, right? But you think they would have had enough of us by now, but no, they keep pulling us back in. Am I right? Look at all the birthdays she's thrown out there. Okay, so August and December. I have a friend whose little girl was born on Christmas. My son was born on Halloween, my youngest. And of course, my oldest son, he had his birthday this month. So Chris and Sword is in May. My middle son's February. And let me tell you this, guys. My second oldest, my daughter, she's a psychiatrist out in New Hampshire. My kids were taken on her birthday on April 4th of 2016, though. My oldest daughter is 40 and my oldest is 41. So wow. Yeah, I had them when I was pretty young. I was 18 when I had Sword, and 19 when I had Julia. They're 10 and a half months apart in age. Do you see that? So she turned 40 in April before he turned 41 in May. So there you have it. I just fit back into my dreams. I'm like, what the heck? I'm pregnant again. What? That's when we were living outside the military base. So my two oldest were born at Wright Pat Air Force Base in Ohio. Those were the days, my friends. I thought they'd never end. We'd sing and dance forever and a day. I went to make a report, our ombudsman, and was turned away because they are allowed to work with the police. They stopped me in my tracks, not caring. It's a married couple working together. Oh yeah. Yeah, I've went to the ombudsman in Dixie County, Florida. They said that's not in their job description, and everybody keeps saying, "Oh, go to your ombudsman." Okay, well, yeah, I did, but yeah, that's about the same boat we were in with the ombudsman idea. Well, I'm glad you're sticking it out with me here. I mean, what time did we start the show? We've been in it for about an hour now, right? I'm sorry it's a little late coming in there. But I hadn't talked to the Punisher in a while, so we were shooting the breeze because, like we say, I don't like to swear and stuff like that, but I do believe it when somebody says "fuck the bullshit," because we are in it all together to win it, and everybody, I just appreciate all of y'all that had come and had the confidence to come share your stories. And if there's anything we can do to help, I mean, I'm really feeling like I am truly an advocate now with the way things have been playing out, because I've never really had the opportunity to help someone, even if it's just with a little, friendly conversation to put your mind at ease. Because, like I say, I met this girl around the corner, Brandy, over in Louisiana, which I always told you guys I don't find any cases in Louisiana, and here it's right under my nose. And then we got this gal in Florida having some recent troubles with CPS, when CPS has been in her life for her whole life. Since she was a child, she can remember being taken by CPS. And how disgusting is that? And she said that would say that her blind mother, since her mother was blind, she's not able to mother her child because she's. What about Helen Keller? Well, look at all that she did. I mean, get back to the reality is people can do amazing things not having sight. Right. You're glad. Well, I'm not so glad now because, yeah, that's what I say. Lock your door because here I am, all here by myself. It sucks. I hate the sound of silence because that's how bad. That was the worst time I had when right after the kids were taken, and then my husband decides to take 4 months in jail on this marijuana charge, and I was going to try to get the kids back. Shoot, man. And still to this day now, and I'm going through it again. I fall asleep on the couch all the time. And always leave the TV going because I can't stand the sound of silence, right? Hello, darkness, my old friend. It took its what? I took it to everyone and got ignored. I had the mayor for a moment, then told her one of her officers trespassed on my property and sent a photo, and she went silent. Oh yeah, sure. And then they'll act like, okay, so I called people all the time, and then you can hear them typing it all in, and okay, well, I'm gonna forward it on. Some people say, do you ever get this? Where, oh, they'll forward it on to whoever they need to forward on to, but they don't even take your name. I find that pretty odd. Like, are you gonna? Oh, so I'm just maybe a number, or maybe I'm a zip code to you. It's disgusting. Can't stand it, guys. I get so upset about this. I mean, can't we do some fireworks or something to get Trump going, get Trump's attention? Okay, so when was the last time we had the show for Trump? Do you guys remember? It was Valentine's. All right, so maybe for those of us who can't go to these freaking rallies and stuff like that, maybe we can do an online thing, dear Mr. President, again. You guys, in fact, I'm on Rumble now with that's my name, dear Mr. President. I've been trying to get his attention. Hey, Trump's birthday is in June, guys, and I think I want to do. Don't take my idea, but I think I'm gonna do a song for Trump's birthday, like Marilyn Monroe did. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Demand to be CCD. Wait a minute, Darren, what does that mean? To be CCD. Trump birthday show. It is so. Yeah, and he's a poet and he doesn't even know it back there. Trump birthday show. It is so. All right, everyone. I think it's going to be about that time, and we're going to wrap it up. Thank you for joining. What plans? You're my biggest and only fan tonight. So I do appreciate you coming in. Hopefully, yeah. And I just like, if nobody knows it, it's Anita, my kids back. I'm on TikTok, you guys. INITA, my KIDZ back. Okay, that's my name on TikTok. I don't know how to connect. I don't really want to connect anything else to my TikTok because it's ended up going to go down anyway. So I'm in it for a minute with the TikTok. I've been posting a lot of stuff lately, and I'm trying to post it on my YouTube channel as well, Brenda Cameron. Nobody ever watches anything I do on there, but just type in my name on YouTube, you'll find me. All right, talk to you all later.
fate. Brenda's strength like a blazing fire. Inspire the lost to lift their desire. Brenda's cry echoes loud and clear. A warrior's heart, no room for fear. Stand up tall, let no one bring you down.
I'm just your average parent trying to do right by my kids. Never thought I'd have to, deal with something like this. It was a regular Tuesday afternoon. The kids' toys were scattered everywhere. Then there was a knock at the door. My heart sank when I saw who it was.
Hello, I'm from Child Protective Services. We've received a report and need to inspect your home.
I didn't know what to do. They wanted to come in, look around, talk to my kids. My hands were shaking. I felt like I was doing something wrong even though I knew I wasn't. But then, I remembered something I'd read online about knowing your rights. I took a deep breath and said, "I'm sorry, but unless you have a warrant, I can't let you in." The CPS worker looked surprised. They weren't used to parents knowing their rights. It wasn't easy, but I stood my ground. I protected my family's privacy that day. Remember, when CPS knocks, know your rights. It can make